Hello out there. Today I'm going to attempt to start tackling me as a person. And I was racking my brains on where to start because I'm not the greatest at talking about myself as a person. I'm fine talking about my hobbies and likes and dislikes, but I'm not one just to be like, well, I'm this. So, I think if you can bear with me, I'm going to do it in baby steps. And I'll start by talking about memories I have that I feel were influential to me and kind of made me into this person that is now being whitewashed on the camera. And then I was trying to decide if I would start with happy or sad memories, and I figured I'll start with happy memories since I don't feel that great today and I want an excuse to be a little happy. So, happy memory today. We are going to discuss, back when I was a kid, I had this super best friend. We were practically sisters, and her family would take me camping, which nowadays I don't think I could go camping, but I would go camping with her. Our very first trip was to Medora, which is in the Black Hills here in North Dakota. The Black Hills also go down into South Dakota. I don't know why they're called the Black Hills, because they are mountains. Just like we have a place called Turtle Mountain. It's a hill. I don't question. While we were down in Medora, we parked their little camper. She and I got a tent, because we always got a tent. And they have a town that's very, okay, not very, but mostly true to its time. That town's been there since before the 30s. So it's got like an ice cream shop that, you know, she and I really enjoyed, or they had clothing or hobby things, or they had a hotel if you wanted to be at the hotel. It was just a functioning little town. And at night they have the Medora Musical, which is just this big grand open theater musical put on. There was a shooting star that night, I remember, and I had so much fun. That trip was also a little terrifying because the campgrounds are right next to where bison would roam, and there's not a fence. It's wooden posts with that thin barbed wire. That ain't gonna stop a bison if it wanted. And my friend's brother, in all of his little kid geniusness, because he was, I don't even remember how old he was, got up on the post and started threatening one of the babies, and they did not look happy, and I just remember running and hoping for the best. So there was that trip. I think that was my first experience camping with this family. From then on, we went to a place called Partial Bay. It's in the south, kind of southern part of the state. And I think we went there, I have no idea, 3 or 4 times. We went there every summer. We would go fishing, we would go swimming, we would go and run amok. Her parents and grandparents would go gambling at the local casino. So, yeah. Again, we were in a tent. Her brother got to be in the camper, and if her cousins came to visit, they got to be in the campers. We were in the tent. So, I wasn't very good at fishing, but this was one of my first catches way back. Yeah, you can't see it too well, but yes, me and my little fishy. Also, I was so much skinnier back then. Makes me sad. But yeah, we would keep doing that, and it was sometimes god-awfully terrifying. Like, we found a rat in the shower because it was like a big communal bathroom that everyone at the park would share. But yeah, we found a rat in the shower. There were just bugs and snakes and all the things. but we have fun. We went swimming every day. I learned I didn't like fish. I learned that I can hook a worm pretty easily, though. We lost many a tube of chapstick to that water. I listened to my first Spice Girls tape on that trip. It got so hot one year that it melted deodorant in the tent, and another year it torrentially downpoured so hard we had to leave the tent and hide in one of the campers. And that was definitely interesting. But yeah, a couple more pictures of... There's me with a bigger fish. That's actually like my champion fish. Also, there's me in a giant tie-dye shirt from some other time. This is from a book I made in high school. Hakuna Matata. It's a My Life book. We had to make it for... I took the advanced classes in high school, so this was for my college English class. We had to write a book about me, you know, as a person. So this section in particular was friends. So that's why there's other people that I'm trying my best to block out, because we're not talking about these people, we're talking about adventures that I have had. So, like, me in a camper hanging out. I was very color coordinated back in the day. Yeah. And just in case you needed to see more embarrassing pictures of me while we're on this topic, there's the back that I had room and I wrote "Totally Rose," and I just filled it with pictures of me, because that's what I do. And if you ever wanted to see cheerleader me, because I was a cheerleader once. Boop. I am the cheerleader. And that's our mascot, the cub. It was her family that would take me camping. Let's see, is there anything else to these memories? We would ride our bikes about a mile. There's a convenience store and buy ice cream all the time. One year was like a mini family reunion for her family, and the dads and uncles drunkenly decided that taking out the pontoon was a great idea. So we loaded everyone up on the pontoon. We're chugging along, and for some reason one of them was like, let's hit the brakes. Not slow down, just the brakes. So as the pontoon's going along, the brakes happen, and it dips down into the water, and everyone who was in front of the little gate kind of went overboard. Luckily, I am paranoid of the water, and I was on the other side of the gate. But yes, those summers were fun. They happened during puberty too, so I would go away for that week and come back, and you know, everyone would make fun of me for being like an inch taller. That didn't happen all the time since I stopped growing eventually. But yeah, I have mostly fond memories of these trips. There were a few, like one of the summers, her mom was pregnant and was not handling it well. And yeah, she was not fun to be around that year. But, and in my memory, I could be wrong, but I feel like these camping trips are the only things I can remember where I did not have anxiety about leaving. I don't know why. Like, just spending the night at her house would give me anxiety, or babysitting 2 blocks away. But at the time, for some reason, going on this adventure did not scare me, and that's weird. But the same could be said, our very first trip to Las Vegas back in 2012, I didn't really have anxiety about that either. So maybe new adventures is good for me. Maybe we're making this revelation together. Anywho. As we move forward, I might pull more from this, though it's mostly stories, so I doubt it'll be that useful. But I'll see. Well, I can read you some of this, I suppose, since it's called, oh God, I saved you. It's titled Me. So it's, I am who I am. I am Rose Ann Tennyson, because that's my maiden name. The Rose and the Ann are not one word. The Tennyson is spelt with an E, not a Y or any other letter you can think of. I was born in a naval hospital in Agana Heights, Guam on August 17th, 1987. My aunt would probably say differently, though, because Guam is on the other side of the international date line, so there it was the 17th, but here it was the 16th, which is her birthday. I would have to say that my favorite memory would be when I stole my father's keys on a Halloween night, and they had dressed me like an airman. I actually vaguely remember this. I reached out to Dad and asked for keys, and he handed them over. And then I realized I didn't know how to open the door, so I ran. My favorite toy, well, I have 3. There was my Minnie Mouse puppet that I still have to this day, and I do still have it to this day. It's a security blanket for when things go wrong. Then there is my heart-to-heart bear that has a real heartbeat. There's a plastic heart inside of it. I used it when I was having hard times. And finally, we come to Teachin' Teddy. It was an educational game that my father and I would play all the time. It challenged me, and I learned so much. It taught me how to read and do math, which is true. My favorite activity was to sing for my mom's video camera. I didn't change much, Mom, did I? She would make tapes and send them to my grandparents in Ohio. They would call and we would sing back and forth. I later felt stupid because my mom let me watch one of the older videos, and I could not believe I would actually do that. But now I believe it. I believe it. 15 words that describe me were hard to come up with, and I had to have help. I am an older sister. I am a dress and skirt hater. Addition, I'm growing on them. I am kind of loud, and I am a reader. I am also friendly, not so popular, a singer. I am emotionally strong, faithful, loyal, and someone once told me I was brave. I am not fashionable, but I am a good wreath seller and a hard worker. I'll explain all that in another video. I am also funny and somewhat intelligent. I think that about covers all the descriptive words. You want me to describe my appearance? I do not think too highly of myself, so if you hear something you believe is false, let me know. I am short. Well, average. 5'5". I have brown hair and hazel eyes. I have big feet. I really do. And I have rosy cheeks. I am not thin, but I'm not fat. I wear glasses and dress like a tomboy. I am laid back, and I am not too sure why. I hope I have spoken the truth and not over-exaggerated anything too much. For future references on the stylish Rose Tennyson, now Richard, consult me. I am the all-knowing authority on the subject, well, besides my parents. This was a thing I wrote, including pictures of me and the Guamanian flag. So, sorry if that was boring, but I thought maybe that was a good place to start. Let me know what you think down below, and give this a like if you want to see more like this, and let me know if this style is okay, or if it's too rambly, or what you want next, okay? But this got a little longer than I thought. I'm good. But yeah, I hope you have a great day, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.